Hey everybody, my name is Jesse Collins, and I am the host of the Gentleman's Wrestling Podcast, a show right here on the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. On the Gentleman's Wrestling Podcast, we take a deep look at individual issues and stories that are going on in the wrestling world. Each episode is about a different topic, and we take a thorough and educated look at things ranging from current booking trends to breakdowns on individual performers and angles to investigations into different fan cultures across the industry. In addition, we keep a close eye on the wrestling media, and as a professional journalist, I bring a unique perspective to how current issues in wrestling are being covered and discussed through the wrestling media. We have a revolving series of guests from across wrestling punditry joining us on each episode, and we hope that you make the choice to give us a listen on wherever you get your podcast from.
Most people don't realize how much their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making billions, pulling details about you from public records and the internet, and then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance. All backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might sell just credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it, together, at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/remove. Protect yourself now at aura.com/remove.
This podcast is a member of the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. Visit voicesofwrestling.com to hear the rest of our great podcasts, as well as show reviews, columns, opinions, and updates across the world of wrestling.
Take a chill and wipe my mouth first. That's not going to be nice to listen to. Someone got annoyed with me once, and rightly so. It was during one of our COVID shows, like when I was stuck in the hotel with baby Esther, when apparently I did a whole show whilst eating a bag of crisps.
That's great.
Right, I see what of our analysis of Summer Struggle 2021.
Yeah.
Right, Udro versus Okada.
Chomp, chomp, chomp. All right, you want to do another countdown or what?
No, let's just roll with it. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Super J-Cast. I'm Joel, joined by Damon McDonald. It's Thursday, the 6th of August, 2026. This is episode 420. Ooh, cannabis.
Ooh. Hey, it's get high, as one of our favorites would say. Yeah, I'm not a big. Now, in edible at night, we take one every fucking night, mind you. But I'm not big on the fucking weed, dude. I'm just not. I don't like smoking. I'm not a big fan. Just thought I'd let everyone know. Thanks, everyone.
No, I dabbled a bit when I was younger, but my brother-in-law had like a big psychotic episode when he was at university, which I think was in large part due to the copious amounts of extremely strong cannabis that he smoked. So, yeah, I hope I'm not annoying anyone or upsetting anyone by saying that. But
yeah, but
I steer clear. I'm straight edge, Damon. I barely drink these days.
Is that right?
My addiction is crisps. Still love the crisps.
Nice.
Had a lovely bag of KFC flavor crisps. It was KFC Zinger flavor. Do you have KFC Zinger? Is that a thing in America? The spicy version of the chicken?
I'm going to say yes, but I wouldn't know. I haven't been to KFC in fucking a long time, dude. A long time. Although I don't hate them. You know what it is? My sister worked, her first job was at a KFC, and she would close and she would bring home copious amounts of free chicken, biscuits, sides, you name it, because they were just going to throw it out anyway. So she would bring it home. I probably got sick of KFC. There was probably a moment in my life where I was like, if I eat another fucking piece of chicken, I'm going to murder someone. So So I haven't had it in a while, but I'm going to say that we do. We have to. We're fucking America. We're the king of fast food. Yes, we have it. I guarantee it.
And we've got a fantasy football season right around the corner. You were telling me you've got a what? So do you and your friends do a draft?
Let me be very clear. They're not my friends. I just happen to work with these people. I want to make
no affection for them whatsoever.
Yeah, no. Honestly, I want no outside activity. Yeah, we do. So we have a draft. This is the fourth year I'm in it. And I fucking hate this league so much. I just fucking hate it because in this day and age where you have your ESPNs and your Yahoos and your wherever you want to do your draft, you can do that in the comfort of your own home. And you can see who has been drafted. And you can see who's next in your wants based off of position and all kinds of fun stuff right at your fingertips, Joe. It's amazing how technology works these days. No, not here. I have to drive to a bar or / restaurant, and we do the draft live, which is the most annoying day on God's green earth. Because one, I got to sit in a room with these fucking dopes, and then two, they do the draft. They just rattle off names so quickly that I'm like, I don't know who the fuck's been. By the third round, I could care less. I don't give a shit. I'm not keeping track of anything. I'm staring out the window because I don't fucking care. It's so annoying. It's incredibly annoying. Why do I do it? I don't. I was like, Cheryl, what do I do here? How do I get out of this elegantly and professionally without just saying, fuck you, I'm not doing it? Because again, it is like people in my department and people, you know what I mean? Like there's like a bunch of people that like, I don't know, I feel weird saying no all of a sudden. She's like, just fucking go. I was like, I don't want to go. I got to put on pants. You got to be fucking kidding me.
You just have to hold your nose and do it. I had a similar situation. This was years ago when I was working in China, and a lot of my colleagues were Yankoids. Mm-hmm. So I didn't have many British colleagues to do like proper football, sort of fantasy football league. So I got roped into doing one for the older gridiron. And obviously I don't know anything about gridiron. So I think I enlisted some help from people from the Super J-Cast Discord. Mm-hmm. I seem to recall, I think it was Tyler Forness from The Good, the Bad and the Hungry was helping me with that. And he wasn't the only person. Who else was it? I can't remember. I apologise if I've forgotten. You helped me with that. But we all went to a Yankoid bar and did a draft. So there were about 10 of us sitting around a table taking turns to pick. I had no fucking idea what I was doing. Right. And I was absolutely miserable because I don't know the sport. I don't know any of the players. So I was just having other people telling me what to do. The only joy that I got was there was one co-worker of mine who looked like an egg, and I strongly disliked him because he looked like an egg.
Okay.
And it's a very like shiny pink bald head and just a sort of a bit of an unfriendly person.
Okay.
He had this little like ring binder, a special folder with him with all sort of stats and data and stuff.
Sure.
Helping him do his picks. And I was just mocking him for that. I was just like, you fucking loser. You come here with a folder of stats and data to play a fucking game on the computer. What's the matter with you? And then he didn't take too kindly to that. So that started a bit of beef. And then when it came to, I think like we each had 2 head-to-head games against each other. And the first time I matched up against him, I beat him. And of course, I had no idea what I was doing. And I was just like, you twat, you stupid wanker. I don't know anything about this sport. You and your stupid folder, and I still beat you. And I was obnoxious. I was really horrible. And then the corresponding fixture when we played each other a second time. And of course, by that point, I'd lost interest because I lose interest in things after about 2 months.
Yep.
So I forgot I was still playing it. And then he left an empty folder in my pigeonhole at work, which I thought was quite funny. Right, that was quite witty. That was good banter. So I had to pretend to sort of take it with good grace and be like, "Oh yeah, good one, mate." I had to swallow the bile and the hatred down and put a brave face on that.
Then Joel put half a gallon of water in his gas tank and just fucking tortured him for the rest of his life. Yeah, I hate it. I don't mind doing it at home, but I just the idea of doing it there, and again, it's like they just rattle off draft picks, and it's like I can't even like I'll come with like a piece of like a fucking printed out PDF of like who I want and like kind of tiered ranking, so to speak, but it fits in my pocket. But one year I fucking brought my laptop because I had everything on there because why would I not? And I saved it in the cloud, so to speak, and the fucking place had no Wi-Fi, so I had to get my phone and try. I'm like, what the fuck?
I'm just imagining your face when you're like, "What's the Wi-Fi password?" And they're like, no, there's no Wi-Fi here, sir.
I'm like, what? What fucking planet are we on? It was so annoying, so incredibly annoying that I have to sit there and do that. But whatever. Once one night, whatever. But it feels like there's a lot of that in my life right now, where it's like everybody's got a piece of me, and it's like I cannot wait to do fuck all nothing. Like I'm tired of driving. I'm tired of people. I'm tired of concerts. I'm tired of parking.
I was going to ask how you enjoyed how many BTS concerts did you go to?
2 down, 1 to go. This Monday in Baltimore.
I felt for you, Damon. I was thinking of you the other day because we went into Plymouth and tried this new Korean restaurant, and they were playing K-pop, which I guess is like a mandatory thing in a Korean restaurant, and it was just absolutely diabolical, just the most horrendous noise conceivable. But the fact that people would actually go out of their way to subject themselves to that, and it was just like the absolutely brain dead lyrics of just like, "Baby, I want you, baby, you are nice." Just every song is like that, and just like stupid electronic noises and boom, 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 boom. And then one of the staff came up, and my children weren't doing it; they were just behaving themselves. My staff came up and like, "Oh, no running! You're not allowed to run around." So I was like,
running?
What are you talking about? And then I said, "No one's running up here." And she said, "Oh, it's health and safety, health." It's like, what are you talking about? No one's running. Why do you think people are running? And she was like, "Oh, there's very loud banging coming."
It's your dumb music.
Coming through the speakers. Yeah, maybe it's your shit music, lady. It's nothing to do. Like, don't blame your K-pop plague on my children. Thank you very much. And honestly, it makes me not want to go to these restaurants and enjoy the tasty Korean food because I have to listen to K-pop, which is absolute ear cancer. But yeah, I felt for you having to actually go to it 3 times and Any funny anecdotes from that, or is it just sort of trauma that you'd like?
No, you know what, dude? I'm going to be honest. Again, musically, it's not necessarily for me. The first night, I intentionally sat down the entire time, just because I feel weird. Trust me, this isn't my first fucking, like, I've seen individual members on solo tours and shit. That's just the thing, you know. This is me, you know. This is the price that I pay. This is what she likes, and it is what it is. So the first night I sat pretty much the entire night. It
wasn't even one of the groups with like the attractive ladies where you can sort of try and look up their skirt.
No, there's all boys.
That's a joke, by the way. It's a joke. Don't cancel me.
Well, trust me. There is one Blackpink that is the ladies are very attractive. They're fucking. I don't even think they're human beings. They're so good looking. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like
AI generated avatars.
Right. They're fucking robots or something. Because I don't know. I just don't know how do you get that attractive? You know what I mean? Like, it's just beyond comprehension. And even in the crowd, like in the crowd, it's probably 10-1 ladies over guys, and some of them really dress up. Let's just leave it at that. They dress up. So my head's on a fucking swivel. Even my wife's kind of pointing, oh, look at that one over there. And because she knows, she's like, there's no getting around it. It's everywhere. You know what I'm going to do? Like, be a dope and just close my eyes? Like, I'm sorry. That said, this one is all boys, BTS, all boys. So again, night one, I'm sitting down because I feel bad for the people who are big fans. You know, my big fucking, you know, in me in the way. You know what I mean? Like, they buy these expensive tickets and they're like, oh, now I got to sit behind this fucking oof. You know what I mean? Like, so I just sit down. I just watch your show, enjoy, scream your heads off. I don't care.
That's better than I thought. I thought when you said I thought there was going to be a different. I thought you were going to say like I took a few Ambiens and just like tranquilized myself.
No. And I did have a couple beers, mind you, but and we have a thing where you don't need to know all the.
I'm
details.
looking at these boys now. They're very attractive. They're very androgynous, aren't they?
Somewhat.
They all look like pretty girls with short hair, don't they?
I mean, they're incredibly good looking guys, and they're fit. And I'm not gonna lie, they run around in the hot, humid summer nonstop. Like, they're athletes, truly athletes. Yeah. Between all the dancing and all the fucking everything.
Dancing and the fucking.
They allow certain members of the audience, at random, to come on stage and coitus. It's unbelievable. It's fantastic. It's really VIP. You know, there's sound check, and then there's another level. I'm sure my wife will be clunking heads with somebody to get in there. So
they all look like Yo. That's it. It's seven versions of Yo. That's what they look like.
Oh, yes. Yeah. That's a good one. There's one that looks like a younger oh my God. Who did I say that he looked like? Yujiro. He looked like a younger Yujiro Takahashi. Like if Yujiro were in his 20s in K-pop, I think this one dude, I was like, he just reminds me of him.
Before the STD started piling up.
Right, exactly, right, and all the fucking wear and tear. So when I sit down, but I'm like, okay, this is not terrible. Like, I'm not dying. You know what I mean? Like, it's fine. Night two, well, we drive up to MetLife. It's about a 2-hour ride. Show gets over. You can't fucking leave MetLife because you're just going to sit in traffic. You're just going to sit there. So we would bring a whole bunch of shit, like we're tailgating, and just hang out afterward too. You know, we just bring out the chairs and bring out the, you know, and just sit there and eat and drink for like an hour or two in the parking lot while it clears out, and then we're gone. Right? I don't get home until.
Were you taking yourself like somewhere off mentally?
Yes, absolutely. Like I kind of look at like it's a. Have you been in MetLife? You have never been in MetLife, right?
No, I don't.
I mean, so it's Wembley. It's Wembley size, maybe even bigger. So I'm just kind of looking around, and like the stage is amazing. Like the stage is the biggest stage I've ever seen. It's not even like stage at the far end. You know, it's stage in the middle of the fucking field with these like. I guess ramps, for lack of a better term, that jut out at all corners. Like, so it was massive, and these gigantic video screens. That was impressive. Every song had pyro or confetti or like fucking cane flame balls, you know, shooting out like
steel cages, ladders.
Yeah, seriously, it was really jobs. There was a ton of fucking things going on to stimulate, even if like the music's not your taste. That even said, like there were a couple songs. I was like, "What's that?"
Sounds like an AW show.
It really kind of does. I know you said that. There's plenty to distract you. There's plenty to distract you. But even then, there were songs where I was like, oh, okay, I remember hearing a song, or I'll remember Cheryl like goofily singing the song, or I'd be like, oh, okay, I remember that. I kind of like that song. That's not bad. You know, I mean, that has certain parts I like. So again, we get out. I get home. It's 2:00 in the fucking morning. I pull in my driveway. We get in, boom, Ambien, bed. We do it all again Sunday. Go down. But before that, I get up. It's like around 9 o'clock, right? And Cheryl's like, I did a thing. I upgraded our tickets. Right? So we were on the side originally. Now we are first level, like perfect eye level, right smack dead in the center. Really, like I was like, do you do this? Do you, when you go to shows or whatever, do you not look at the stage until you enter where you got to enter? So you get in the stadium and you walk around, you get something to drink, whatever. If you go to take a piss, whatever. But you can't catch a glimpse of the fucking stage until you go to your spot. Do you do that, or am I the only one?
So what? Like when you're walking around the concourse, you mean?
Correct. Yep. I do not look at the stage. I do not try and sneak a peek. I don't do it. I don't know why. I just feel it's bad luck. I don't know why.
That's an interesting question. I don't really go to enough stadium shows to know really. Like if I go to a football match, like last time I was at Wembley or the Emirates Stadium, I'm not looking at a pitch. Like I want to see what my view is from my seat when I'm sat down.
Right.
So I can appreciate it in its totality. But,
right.
Well, I no.
Like I did that for Oasis. Like I would not look at anything until we hit the concourse, like the actual up where we need to be, you know. And then I try and take it all in. So night 2, we come back. She gets these seats. I'm like, I don't care. You know the money better than I do. Whatever. You know, you've been waiting years for this fucking thing to get down. Whatever. I don't care. And actually, I'm kind of like, oh, these are really good seats. So again, we do the same thing. We get there a little early. We tailgate in there. We met some people that she knew. Then we're all hanging out, drinking, having a good time. Get in the show, do the thing that I just told you about. And I was like, whoa, these are fucking great seats. Right? These are really great. And I kind of got into it at that point. Like I was just like, oh, look at this. This is going to be fun. And I did. I kind of got into it much more, actually. And then again, I remember the songs from the night before because it's the same fucking set list. I'm like, okay, that's not a bad song. That's not a bad song. That's all right. You know what I mean? So I don't know if it just wore me down. I don't know if I just got caught in the fucking spirit of things, but it's 80,000 people. And here's the thing too. Like 80,000 people, they would go to war for these kids. You know what I mean? Like they would cut off it. They would gnaw off their own arm and beat someone with it. And everyone, and I will say this, like the crowd, they're incredibly nice. And it's 10-1 girls over guys. So it's not like you're going to go see fucking, let's be honest, Oasis or, whatever, Guns N' Roses or something where you're like the crowds are like a little suspect. Like everybody is on their best behavior. They're just there to have a good time and see, fucking fantasize about their boys and whatever. But by the end of the night, I really enjoyed it. Like they do a great job. And then the each night they, as they're leaving the stage, they set up these fireworks, dude, are all around the stadium. And I've never seen a firework display like it was unbelievable. Like we were just looking at each other like, holy shit! Like the pyro alone, and again, every song has pyro. Like you're looking at like 50 grand at least in pyro each song, and then the fireworks at the end of the show. I'm telling you, it had to be at least $500,000 in fireworks. It was a massive fireworks show. So we're gonna do it again Monday. I'm gonna do it again Monday. So the long and the short of it is yes, am I doing it for my wife? Absolutely, 100%. To see your smile, love it. I'll fucking the ends of the earth. By the end of it, I kind of dug it. I was like, that was a good show. It was fun. It was fun. It was fine. So there you go. There's my BTS weekend, and then again Monday, we'll do the same thing.
I've not got an elegant segue for that.
No, there is none.
I was going to circle back to the fantasy football thing, but I think that moment's passed, really.
Oh,
so
come on.
I can't do it in an elegant way. Then I'm going to leave it. No, I was just going to say I managed to. I jinxed a big transfer for Arsenal by naming my fantasy football team after a player that we hadn't signed yet and we're probably never going to sign.
Oh no!
But it was fun while it lasted.
Oh,
There's that.
Is he a free agent? Is he going somewhere else or?
No, he was a Real Madrid player called Vinicius Junior, and essentially, I think Arsenal have just been used for leverage so he can get a bigger contract, and he's got his big contract now. He's renewed with them, so fair play to him. I was saying on Discord, I experienced something similar a few years ago when I had a co-worker, this incredibly attractive lady with huge tits, and she had a boyfriend. But she was unsatisfied with her relationship with him. But rather than just breaking up with him, she just spent a lot of time hanging out with me because I was sort of like showering her with attention and affection, sort of taking her out and being nice to her and respectfully, putting my moves on and just getting quietly rebuffed. And every evening she, right, every evening she'd go back to him, but she just give me enough hope, just enough dangling out there, not for me not to give up completely. So I thought, maybe there is still a chance, even though I think we all knew deep down what was going on. I sympathise. I know how Arsenal are feeling right now.
Hey, did you? I don't know if you heard the news. If I said the name LeBron James, would you know who I'm talking about?
Yes, he's a famous NFL football player.
Close. NBA basketball player.
Same thing. Go on.
Same thing.
It's close enough.
Well, I mean, you're not going to care. Like I was waiting for. Yeah, I know who LeBron James. Probably one of the most famous athletes in all the world, Joel. And he signed as a free agent to our Philadelphia 76ers. The town is a buzz with the idea of having one LeBron James. Do
you have access to this team? Will you get to have a chat with LeBron James?
Question.
And ask
maybe
about his football throwing and kicking skills.
Well, no kicking, just shooting and dribbling, and dunking and passing.
LeBron James touchdown from the 60-yard quarter.
No, 3-pointer. The problem is this,
home run for LeBron James. Yeah.
Oh, Joe, that's Cowabunga. Ninja Turtles, I believe. No. So will I have access? So I'm going to give you a definitely maybe because, one, I rarely work a Sixers game. Every once in a while I will, basketball. But now it's going to be like near impossible to get credentialed because here in the States, ESPN talks about LeBron James as if he were Jesus Christ himself, like just constantly. Like, did he take a shit today? Did LeBron James tie his shoes? How awkward were the bows? Like, just unbelievable. Every fucking day. There's some dope talking about LeBron James. And I'm being close to New York. I would not be surprised if we have a fuck ton of national media coming down each and every game. So, truth be told, I don't want to because it would be an absolute fucking zoo. Hockey, I don't know. We should be getting credentialed soon. We'll see. Every year I'm kind of amazed that I do get credentialed after a while. So we'll see. But I think the town is abuzz with the idea of LeBron James playing for us. So there you go. All right, you want to talk about pro wrestling or not?
No. Let's do.
Okay.
It's the Grade 1 Climax.
Yes.
And we are here to talk about Night 12 from Korakuen Hall.
It's gone quick.
I hope you've been enjoying our nightly coverage of the show. And thank you to all the patrons. Still time to sign up for the juicy parts of the tournament. If you've not already signed up, go and check out the back catalogue. That's a hard sell. No one's going to do that. Still good, though. And enjoy all the excellent coverage that we've been doing for what I think is a really fantastic tournament. So let's get into it then. We had a attendance of 1,400 and 94. It's hard to really compare that because it's a packed out Korakuen Hall. There's not a huge amount you can learn from that, but we didn't want to see any empty seats there, and we didn't. So that's good. That's healthy. We started off with the Dory Funk Jr. Memorial Ceremony. Would you like to do like an hour-long eulogy about the life and times of Dory Funk Jr.? Because I don't know anything about him.
No, nothing. Fun fact. So back in my pro wrestling days on the indie circuit on the Northeast Coast, we wrestled on a few shows with Dory Funk Jr. He wrestled one Dan the Beast Severn on a few shows. When Dan,
I love Dan the Beast Severn.
Yeah, he's very good. He has a pic. Again, I say it all the time. He has a picture of me hanging up in his gym. Do you believe that? To this day,
that's incredible.
I did tell you that story, didn't I?
You did, but I'd like to hear it every time.
All right, I'll give you the quick version. When we were doing shows, he just loved our gimmick. He thought we were the goofiest fucking things on earth. And we just hit it off, and we were kind of pally, and every show he would say us, we were like, Madonna, Twiggy. So he wanted like one of our 8x10s. So we signed it and gave it to him, whatever. We're thinking, all right, that's going to sit in his bag, and then it's going to get thrown out in about a fucking day. But even then, we thought that was kind of funny that was even a thing. Years later, like I'm talking 25, 30 years later, I'm at a convention, wrestling convention in Philly at the 2300 Arena, and he was there, and I woke up and I was like, hey, Dan, I don't know if you remember back in the Dennis Carluzzo days. And he's like, oh, yeah, I remember Dennis, of course, blah, blah, blah. And then he's looking at me. Like, how, like, wait a minute, where the fuck do I know this dude? Like, and he's not sure where it is, because obviously I'm not wearing the fucking gimmick and all that shit. But he's looking at me like I kind of know you, but I don't know you. And then he's like, I don't know if you remember, blah, 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 back in the day, blah, 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 Twiggy, Madonna. And he's like, oh, my God, Madonna. And he comes across, big hug. He's, what's up? He goes, I'm telling you, I still have that 8x10 hanging up in my gym. And I'm looking at the guy I was with, and he's looking at me like, are you fucking kidding me? He's like, I still have it hanging up there. I was like, holy shit. That is unbelievably funny. Hilarious funny. So he was on shows, but Dory Funk Jr. was on these shows, a lot of these shows as well. And what am I going to say to Dory Funk Jr.? You know what I mean? Like you do the rounds when you're in the locker room. Oh, nice to meet you. Hi, introduced, and then after the show, you do your customary handshake. All right, thanks for everything. Thank you for the house. But he was nice. I remember his wife more than anything else, because she was kind of like the heavy of the crew, and I remember her and Dennis getting into a little bit of a heated conversation. I believe it was about the payoff. I'm not 100% sure. But I just remember getting a little bit heated. And he also had... around that time, they had a lot of guys that were interested in going to his training seminar. Back then, that was kind of like the step for guys to get noticed. Like if you graduated that school, you were on your way. So I remember like Devin Storm going there, and how did Reckless go? I'm not 100% sure, but there were a couple guys that went. And I remember one match we had that he even was like, that was really good. That was really good. And then we got kind of excited thinking, would he get the invite? But not me. I wouldn't get the invite, but Twiggy, are you going to get the invite? Never happened. But I remember that at the time as well, like his school being like like I said, the gateway to get in to WWF. And if I'm not mistaken, Kurt Angle went there, and legitimate fucking guys went to this school with Dory Funk ran. The one thing about Dory Funk is that when I was growing up, he looked 95 years old. I don't care at any time of his life. You know what I mean? Like he looked like he was maybe not 95, but he looked like he would be like if I said right now, Joel, picture a 61-year-old man, but he looked 61 in 1971, 1982, 1993. Like his entire life, he looked exactly the same. He didn't age anymore, but he came out of the womb as an old man. And of course, look, the fucking funks in All Japan in the early 80s were unbelievable. And, his matches with Inoki, his matches with Baba, his matches with Abdullah, his matches with, runs the gamut. Former NWA world champion. And at that time, I'm not even born yet, mind you, but like you read all this stuff about how like he was every generation has like he's the guy, Flair in the 80s and even maybe before that Harley Race. And then before that, you're looking at guys like Dory Funk being the prototypical number one guy in the biz. And he was up there. And even back then, Joel, like if you were going to carry that title, I mean, obviously you're a traveling world champion and you're going to carry that title, you had to have a little bit of fucking sandpaper in you and be somewhat legit because there was always the danger of somebody fucking double crossing and then taking advantage and then, oh, what the fuck? Yes, you're world champion. So, I mean, they intentionally had guys that had a little bit of a, could take care of themselves, to put it that way, between the Briscoes, Funk, Race, whomever. So, what I think the saddest thing for me, Joel, is like both of them are gone. Both of them are gone. And again, go back and watch those All Japan tournaments, tag tournaments, against Sheik and Abby, like those matches are just like unbelievable. Like the heat in the building is to this day like somewhat unmatched. And then with Brody and Snuka, and then Brody and Hansen, and he was booking. If I'm not mistaken, he was booking a lot of. Well, he was booking like Texas, but I also think he was booking a little bit of Carolinas as well. And he also had a lot of say in Japan. Like he took care of a lot of the American and foreign wrestlers that would do tours back then. So again, obviously legendary, obviously one of the greatest of that era. And he, made it work up in the 80s. And, I would say like, if you're looking at like, you're probably looking at late 80s and that's about it. And then afterward, you just kind of, he's living off a name a little bit, but yeah, again, one of the best of his era, no doubt. And another thing about that is Tiger Hattori. I was like, wow, they brought out Tiger Hattori. I couldn't believe it. Sitting there with his the little picture that they hold in there to do the 10 bell salute. I was like, yeah, I was kind of shocked that they brought him out. I didn't know if he had any real ties with the company anymore, but apparently somewhat. And he was there. That was nice to see.
Great, thank you, Damon. That was very informative. Little eulogy there about Dory Funk Jr. Enjoyed that. That was good.
Thank you.
Okay, let's get into the matches then. We first of all had Jacob Austin Young and Hanare defeating Masatoru Yasuda and Yuya Uemura, 6 minutes 51 seconds. Jacob Austin Young getting himself some more C block points with Jacob's ladder on Yasuda. So obviously this has been a preview match for upcoming Yuya versus Henare. What did you think of Gabe versus Henare? Bit of a divisive match. I really loved it. It tickled the lizard brain part of my constitution, just dudes whacking each other really hard. Did you see that? What did you think of it?
Yeah. Look, we told everybody to kind of circle that as a match that where two guys are going to go out there and beat the piss out of each other and call it a wrestling match. And for a lot of that, they did. They absolutely did. I liked it. I didn't have a problem with it at all. I love the idea of Henare being this just fucking fire plug. You could bash him over the head with a chair, and he's just taking 2 more steps towards you. And Gabe, to a certain degree, has that same kind of mentality as well. So, no, I really liked it. I thought it was fun. There were people that didn't like this.
Yeah, I think sort of people kind of checked out on Gabe Kidd, which is understandable. I know his character work can be very off-putting to some, but I didn't mind it in this match. I think he has sort of gone OTT a lot of times in this tour, but I didn't find it particularly egregious in this match, and I think the effort that he's put in is making up for it.
Yeah,
I still think he's a really good wrestler, and he's working his socks off.
Yes. Would you like a little bit more dimension to the character? Would you like a little bit more than middle fingers and fuck yous and all that nonsense? And yeah, of course. And AEW is great, and New Japan stinks now, and blah 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 blah. We get it. But you can't fucking hand wave it, the effort that he puts out. Like, to me, he puts out a tremendous amount of effort. So, no, I like the match. I thought it was fun.
And how do you feel about Yuya's output so far? I've been a little bit underwhelmed by him. He's not reaching the heights that I would want so far. I mean, there's still time to go, and we'll wait and see how he does in the last stages of the tournament, if he makes the semi-finals or even the finals. But and also, I mean, perhaps he's not been given the favourable stylistic matchups. Like, I think if Yuya were in A block, he'd be absolutely cooking.
Yep.
So maybe it's just by virtue of being put with a bunch of guys that he's not really able to shine against, that it might be holding him back slightly.
Maybe. I'm kind of I'm in agreement with that. I could see that. I had made mention that he's doing the hard work in the sense of working almost, dare I say, 80s babyface style, which again is a hard thing to do. And after every one of his bigger wins, he's got the hug fest going, and the fans are lining up around the ringside area, at least 3 or 4 deep. So I think that's a positive. Yeah, I mean, is this like the rocket ship moment for him? I don't know. There might be other people that might be taking advantage a little bit more, but I think he's had a solid tournament. I think he's been fine.
And so we've got coming up on the Yokohama show on Saturday, Yuya, who's on 6 points, against Henare on 8 points, which on paper just seems like a very weird stylistic match. It seems like chalk and cheese. I'm not sure it's going to be good. Like, it could be really weird and bad, but I'll be optimistic that they can make something good of it. But they just seem so completely different, like worlds apart in their philosophy of what pro wrestling is. I'm fascinated to see what that one looks like. They've both got 3 matches remaining. I would expect to see Yuya putting a run together at this point.
Right.
But, I mean, I'd expect him to win 2, if not all 3 of his remaining matches.
Who do you think buckles? And when I say that, do you think this will be more of a Henare, again, fire plug, hit me as hard as you can kind of match? Or do you think in some strange way, Henare turns into, the perfect foil for the lovable babyface? Like, which style do you think we're going in this match? Or do you just have no idea?
I would like to see Yuya go like full Toreador, like, Spanish bullfighter, and bait Henare in. I'm imagining like a beautiful sequence where towards the end of the match, Henare is like charging at him, expecting some good meaty skull-on-skull action, but then Yuya does an arm drag instead, and then locks in some sort of hold and gets a submission. I don't know, something like that.
There is something to be said about getting a guy, and we talk about it a lot, that sandpaper. And I don't know if Henare is the guy that you do that with, mind you, but that could be interesting. Yeah. You would think it would be Wildman Henare making just a mistake, slipping, maybe too aggressive, and Yuya just patiently waiting for his spot, takes advantage of it, locks in something, and away we go.
Oh, I thought you were going to extend that idea, but that's it. Okay, right. Next match then. The second match on the show was Ren Narita and Dick Togo against Tatsuya Matsumoto and Aaron Wolf. Ren Narita getting the submission over Matsumoto, 6 minutes, 1 second with a cross knee bar. So Urufu Aaron is on 6 points and Ren is on 8 points. They'll be facing each other next. So a rematch of their, they've had 2 matches?
Yeah.
So far already over the Never title. So I really hope that Aaron Wolf gets the win there just to help him escape from the House of Torture verse, because I'm just scared that if Ren wins, then he's going to be like, I want my Never title back, and they're going to wrestle each other again. And I've seen enough from Aaron Wolf to tell me that he's fine. He doesn't need that anymore. He's perfectly capable of having very, very good matches with a wide range of wrestlers and not having to do the house slop anymore. So yeah, thoughts on Wolf and Ren and their upcoming match, please.
Well, Wolf, I think, has had an outstanding tournament for a guy 6 months in. And I know that I talked about on one of the Patreon reviews that, when you put him in a main event and you're expecting him to go 20 minutes, he's going to fall back onto things that he's most comfortable with. So, like, in those moments, it's great that he is able to have something to rely on, number one, and that's his judo experience. So, in his main event, it was, there was a lot of that, which is fine. It makes perfect sense. Why not? But I don't know if necessarily he's stretching his wings a lot in those scenarios where, he's expected to go, like I said, close to 20 minutes. But overall, I think he's had a tremendous, like going into this. I know a lot of people were looking at him, and there were a couple other people that people had their eyeballs on, because I think it's an important thing. Like they have a lot riding on him being successful and picking this up. I think he's exceeded my wishes for his first G1. And again, 6 months in. And we always talked about how, in G1, you're going to see the cream rise, right? You're going to, I think it was Lanza who has said many times that you can't hide in G1. And I totally agree with that. And I don't think I don't think I dare someone to be disappointed in his performance so far. I dare you, because I'm going to tell you flat out, you're wrong. you're just wrong. That's okay.
Then in the third match, we had Zane J and Callum Newman defeating Gedo and Oscar. So no. Oh yeah, no, that is correct. It was a count out, wasn't it? So
yeah.
Oscar got counted out. So there was a big post-match brawl. They got counted out. They were brawling all over the shop. And the preview tag theory suggests that Callum is winning. They're both on 8 points. Oscar has 2 matches remaining. Callum has 3 left. And yeah, I would expect Callum to start pulling ahead at this point. But I'm really excited and fascinated by the match, because I think both guys have been very, very strong this tour. And I'm excited to see Oscar sort of drawn into the kind of fast-paced, dynamic, crowd-pleasing match style that Callum Newman is an exponent of. Whereas most of Oscar's matches have been sort of more methodical and kind of hard-hitting, like, power-based monster stuff. And it's been really good. I've been very impressed by him as well. So, again, just from a sort of stylistic standpoint, and the fact that, 2 young, hungry guys, I bet they're going to do some crazy shit. I'm really looking forward to that one. But, I think Callum's probably winning that.
Yeah, I would think. We're going to make sure that Callum's in the mix. He's had a really good tournament. And again, we're in the beginning, everybody was worried about his shoulder, but I don't think I don't know if that's a talking point anymore with all the nonsense that he's been doing outside the ring, at least with his drop kicks into fucking a pile of empty chairs. I would expect him to get the win, but yes, he's looked good, and so is Oscar. again, I've said it many times on previous shows that we've always been sold a bag of goods when it comes to monsters, and I put that in air quotes. And he's delivered it. Like, I think one of the more pleasing aspects is that going into this, we were all hoping people would shine in this situation because we're desperately needing people to shine. And I think even, the idea of a lot of these guys in G1, we were just kind of hoping in some cases that, I'll do well, don't get hurt, and just hold your own. And I think a lot of these guys, it just overshot that bar, and they made a lot of people sound silly with their hesitation and their concerns and all that. And hear me out. I mean, when you're in a tag team, you don't know what you're going to get because you're in a tag team situation. You're not hiding. You're not, I'm going to hide my flaws and I'm going to promote my strengths. I mean, I think match structurally, everyone's trying to do that. But even then, I think everybody's kind of gone outside their comfort zone and have outshot projections, I think, from everybody. And who could ask for anything more?
And then the fourth match was Hartley Jackson and Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Daiki Nagai and Drilla Maloney. 10 minutes, 23 seconds. Hartley Jackson getting yet another win with a sit-up.
He should have been in.
One. Yes, well, yeah. I would gladly take him over... Well, definitely take him over Great O'Khan at this rate. But yeah. He would be my cut at this point. Yeah. But, I understand what is it. We'll talk about Great O'Khan later. But, yeah, so this notable, again... Daiki getting another cool moment with the suicide dive. Would love to see him working more closely with Zack Sabre Jr. I think Zack is exactly the sort of mentor that could help Daiki Nagai elevate his wrestling to the next level. So in the next match, we've got Drilla, who is on 8 points, facing Zack, who is on a surprisingly low 4. So Drilla's got only 2 matches left. Zack's got 3 matches. But the interesting thing here is Zack... The maximum he can reach is 10 points if he wins all 3 of his matches. He can't finish above Gabe due to the tiebreaker there. He's lost to Narita, Newman, and Uemura, so he'd lose tiebreakers to them as well. They're all on 8, so basically if any of them pick up a win,
he's done.
In their next 3 matches, he's out. But if they all lose out, then that would mean Henare would be on 12 points because then he'd have wins over Newman and Uemura. So... by my calculation, Zack's already eliminated, which is an interesting choice to do this early in the tournament. And, I'm sure there was... If Shota was still in the tournament, then that probably wouldn't have happened. But it's just, it's a surprising thing here. I still think he's going to pick up wins. I think he will probably make it to 10 and they'll, try and fudge it a bit. I'm sure Chris Charlton will be talking about sort of multi-way tiebreakers and playoffs and things like that. But... how are we feeling about Drilla and Zack?
Drilla's been another incredible, I don't think surprise is the word, but outperformed projections. I think he's been one of those guys that you were worried about making a crowd connection and being a guy that the fans would even give a shit about. Like there, I'm sure there was a general concern from a lot of pundits that, he would be a bathroom break for a lot of fans. He's delivered. He's connected with the crowd. He's been able to, and he's been dynamic. Like his matches have been dynamic. I once again, I hate rehashing things that I've said before on Patreon coverage, but I'm going to do it anyway. He's a guy that my biggest concern is he's making himself look too good. And he's going to have the interest of at least 2 Western companies after this tournament. He's got the look. He has it in ring. He has a little bit of charisma, maybe even more than a little bit. He's got fire. Like he's this tournament. He's investing in himself. You know what I mean? And he'll have a nice little payday. I'm sure of it. Again, I know that contracts and all that stuff and 2-year deals and all of it. I'm worried. I'm worried that he's going to go because he's done that well in this tournament.
Okay, and then that takes us on to the G1 Climax portion of the show. So we started off with A Block SANADA defeating Yuto-Ice in 8 minutes 10 seconds via KO. Now, I know a lot of people are just going to shit on this match. Like in terms of the bell-to-bell action and the shenanigans that went down at the end, like it wasn't a great match in terms of the action, like the technical aspects of it. However, I think the character work that SANADA did here and has done throughout this tour is borderline genius, right? So we've got a question here from Daryl last week. He said, do you find that SANADA is a more sympathetic character now? I really didn't have any feelings before, but between the arm, sombrero, and the dog rescue post on, I'm starting to dig him finally. And yes, Daryl, that is exactly the point here. And I think that is something that SANADA has really leaning hard on here to make him quite unique in this tournament, because he is not trying to hide that. He's making that his whole thing. Like, yeah, I can't hang with these guys anymore. They're all, stronger and fitter and faster than me. I can't keep up with them. So he's, trying his very best to show the old SANADA and all those, different personalities and iterations of the character. And it just manifested itself brilliantly here in the match against Yuto-Ice, because Yuto said, as Chris Charlton talks about in commentary, the very first pro wrestling match he watched was the All Japan match, which had Seiya SANADA in it. Right. And then in the preview tag that they had a few days ago, SANADA wrestling, clean as a whistle. They're shaking hands afterwards. So it's all set up and to make you, the viewer, and Yuto-Ice think, oh yeah, we're going to get a nice clean fight here. This is going to be, really something special. And I did say on my audio preview, like, we know exactly what's going to happen at the end of this one. But just the way they did it was so good, because, SANADA's wearing the All Japan gear, like the blue trunks
star.
When he was Seiya SANADA back in the day. And he just exploits that sense of nostalgia from Yuto-Ice, because he knows he's not going to beat Yuto-Ice in a brawl. So he sucks Yuto-Ice into this world of doing this like babyface clean wrestling, like clean.
And I'm wrestling my hero. Yeah, I'm wrestling.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. And the Yuto-Ice, like, there's none of the usual sort of cocky, foul mouth, hard hitting, brawling style from Yuto-Ice. I don't think they even left the ring. No. It was just like SANADA just totally exploiting that, thinking you're wrestling your hero here and I'm going to make this everything you want it to be. Like, that was Yuto-Ice's wrestling high, and he used it against him.
Right.
It's like the mind games, the psychology of it was so good. And it's almost like, I'm in sort of two minds about this. Was this SANADA's plan all along? Like, maybe he thought, oh, I can actually beat Yuto-Ice if this is just a clean wrestling match. And he came pretty close. But then that moment comes with the ref bump, and Kanemaru comes in, does the whiskey and gives SANADA the guitar. And like, my headcanon is that wasn't the plan all along. The ref bump happens, and then when a ref bump happens, Kanemaru's like, right, I'm getting in there. It wasn't like as soon as the ref bump happened, then SANADA started wrestling dirty. But Kanemaru came in, gave him the guitar, and SANADA's, you could see like sort of the doubt in his mind, like, am I actually going to do this? And he's like, yeah, fuck it, I'm doing it, and just absolutely waffles him over the head with it, because at the end of the day, he wants to win wrestling matches. He doesn't want to get consigned to the dustbin of pro wrestling history.
Yeah.
Exactly. He wants to get some points on the board. So I just thought it was a fantastic bit of character work from SANADA. Like, this match being the sort of the pinnacle of everything that's built up to it so far. Like, it wasn't in a vacuum. Like, it's been the whole kind of storytelling journey from the start of this tournament, and just the little unnecessary flourish of doing the kip up with the 10 count at the end.
Right.
But yeah, I just found the character work really compelling. Like, SANADA is a baby face at heart, and he wants the crowd to love him, but he realizes his body can't do what he used to do, and ultimately he's going to do what he has to in order to survive against this next generation of guys. And that if that means bending or breaking the rules, if he sees the opportunity, he's gonna go for it, because he's found himself in House of Torture, not because he's an evil person, but just because that's the best fit for him at this point, so he can still exist and survive on this roster. So I just found it very, very compelling from sort of a character and storytelling standpoint. Sorry, Josh from WeWork Stiff, if I've kind of swerved into your lane there, but there was a lot to sink your teeth into here, even if the wrestling itself was a bit shit.
Yeah, I'm with you. And trust me, it worked on me too, because I was kind of there for all right, like maybe it was early morning for me, and my brain was a little cloudy, but I was Yuto-Ice, like feeling the nostalgia and feeling it for him, and you could see it in his face of being excited, and when he took off the disco ball pants and revealed the tights, and you saw Yuto-Ice just like light up, and he's like, here we fucking go.
That camera close up on Yuto's face when the tights came off as well.
Yeah. I was there for it, right?
Most people don't realize how much their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making billions pulling details about you from public records and the internet, and then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance, all backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might sell just credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it, together, at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/remove. Protect yourself now at aura.com/remove.
So now we go to the finish, and we had the Kanemaru with the whiskey, and brings in the guitar, and SANADA contemplates his life decisions and says "fuck it," boom. Was it weird to you? And I know there was a ref bump. I understand that. Why did they do the knockout finish? Why do you think that was it? Because again, SANADA's playing possum. He lies down as if he's hurt, and you know the deal where he's faking that kind of shit and blah blah blah. Why not just kind of roll over and pin him? Or why do you think they did the 10 count thing?
Well, I think that was sort of a tacit admission on SANADA's behalf that even that would stretch credibility if the referee turns around and suddenly SANADA's on top of.
I mean, we've seen it a million times, though.
I know, but even in the realms of like refereeing stupidity, he even thought that was a stretch too far. Like the referee wouldn't buy it and be like, "Whoa, for you to be dominant here to be pinning him, something must have gone on." So I just see it as him using his cunning veteran craftiness to just make it a bit more believable.
And make us a win is a win is a win, right? Yeah, interesting. Like, so
he wanted to do the kip up. He
wanted to do the kip.
A little bit of showmanship in him that wanted to do the kip up on the 8 count, just so he could get a little bit of a pop from the crowd.
Yeah, he's had a really fun tournament. Like, and again, trust me, I am the first person to fucking lay the boots to SANADA. Like there's not been many moments in his New Japan Pro Wrestling run where I've been like on my feet, fist pumping. He's had a really strong fucking tournament. As banged up as he has been, and the fact that he's grinding this out, and again, coming up with at least creative things, right? Like this was...
And it fits with the story, doesn't it? That all his strongest performances in ring have come at the start. So he had like a pretty strong match with Goto, and then he had a great card match. That was nothing. But he had a great match against Yota Tsuji, and he had a I can't remember much about the Jake Lee match. Really, really good match against Oiwa.
Good.
So like he's put in all his big effort early on the tournament, but now he's
Running out of gas.
burned out and he's banged up and he's tired and he's hurting, so he can't do that anymore. So it fits with the story as well that he's emptied the tank early on in the tournament and now he's kind of on his last legs and has got to do what he can to survive.
Yeah, but even then, like the dude's still hitting fucking moonsaults. You know what I mean? Like, it's it's not like he's mailing it in. Like he's there. Trust me. There was a part of me that was like, oh, I kind of wish it didn't happen this way. But in hindsight, yeah, you're exactly right. It's one of those things where it was almost perfectly done. And again, if you're like sitting there with your notebook out, waiting to fill out your 5-star matches, yeah, I could see where you'd be like, what the fuck. But like the whole context of everything, again, it was fucking good. It was good because
I'd be really interested to see if other people pick on that as well. Like when I consume other people's reviews, if they have appreciated and noticed and enjoyed that, or if they're just going to be like, oh, this is rubbish and interference, 2 stars.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you'll get plenty of that. I'm sure you'll hear plenty of that. And again, would I love to see them go 15 minutes and a clean, hard hitting? But again, what are we dealing with here? Like here's what they did. They got me. And I love it. You know what I mean? Like I got, and that's fine. I'm down for that. That I thought that, and in this day and age, when you can see things coming 50 miles away, it's nice to be got. I got. I like that. Speaking of got,
I like it. Well, okay, let me just quickly say, so both SANADA, Yuto-Ice, both on 6 points now, so they've got 2 matches left. Yuto's got Shingo and Goto, so maybe I think it could be, he's eaten a lot of defeats so far, Yuto.
Yeah. Maybe
that could be a chance for him to have like a big kind of crowd-pleasing brawl where he does his pro wrestling high and actually gets to win instead of just getting the shit beaten out of him or getting outsmarted. So, I think at least one of those is going to be a big win for Yuto. I know he's not going to be in contention, but I think he needs that just to show like, yeah, he can win matches. SANADA has got Takeshita and Shingo left, which is interesting. Like particularly the Takeshita match. Like I don't know. I'm quite interested in that Takeshita match. Yeah. Actually. Very, very interested. I feel like Takeshita has got to lose at least one more match. And could it be SANADA? I'm just fascinated to see what version of SANADA comes out, like where he's at in sort of his narrative or his psychological journey through this tour. So I didn't think I'd be saying that at the start. And to be fair, actually, when we were previewing it, I did express my curiosity and intrigue about what version of SANADA we get in this tournament, and it's turned out to be way more interesting and complex and layered than I could have ever hoped for. So yeah, well done to SANADA. Anyway, let's move on. I need to let the cat in, so I'm going to set you up for this one, Damon.
Let's do
it. Jake Lee defeating the Great Khan in 1 minute 47 seconds via disqualification. Off you go.
Unbelievable. I just, again, I'm not, like, I thought this was look, again, we're dealing with Jake Lee, who is a guy who, is held together with duct tape at this point. Being creative and using his character to kind of get through matches, very similar to SANADA. Look, I said it before and I'll say it again. There's a reason why this went as quickly as it did. I'm really trying, and I'm clutching at straws, trying to come up with positives of Great Khan. Really am. I'm trying to find the positive in everything, and I'm really having trouble with Great Khan. I don't even think this was like that creative. Like at least like we talked about for 15 minutes about SANADA and how the build up to this and how creative this was and everything that like Great-O-Khan just goes out there and just gets disqualified. You know what I mean? Like there's just I don't know. And I guess the best part about this match, and I shoulder shrug when I say this, is that it was United Empire against United Empire, and then there was the idea that Okan is so pissed that he's going to fucking just, beat the shit out of fucking Jake Lee. You didn't really even get that. Like Lee took the fucking chair, hit the ground, took a back bump, and that was it. I guess it's the heels, one heel outsmarting the other heel, being more heely and just trying to get through things. I don't know. Like, Okan just does the fucking nothing for me. And when you give him these 1 minute and 30-second matches that just, look, the best thing about this match was nobody got hurt, it seemed like, because they really didn't have enough time. But it was
best thing about it was that it was sub 2 minutes. I think
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But again, don't you think that, like, I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit like there's only so many times we can go to the well with the ref, like we both are down, you know what I mean, and we're going to disqualify because he's holding the chair. I don't know. I maybe I'm just so fucking anti Great-O-Khan that there's nothing this guy could do that is going to make me think any less or any more of him. Jake Lee's just trying to get through the fucking tournament. This was here. What are you going to do?
Yeah, it made sense for both of the characters, and the preview tag was actually quite funny, where it was all 4 United Empire guys, where it's kind of descended into chaos. But this wasn't good.
No.
By any stretch of the imagination. I don't have a problem with it, and yeah, like you, I've very little use for Great-O-Khan these days. Anyway, in terms of points, Jake has got 6 points. He's got Oiwa and Tsuji next. I suspect he might be playing a bit of spoiler there, although I think he's ending on 6 points sounds about right for him. Great-O-Khan's only on 4 points. He's got Tsuji and Boltin. The thought of Great-O-Khan beating Yota Tsuji is like like veins are popping out of my head right now, like like in that meme. But I can't rule it out. God, yeah. See, this is where he's going to like drag down the average performance ratings from guys like Tsuji and Boltin, because he's got them up last. Like I'm really interested if he can be bothered to put in a shift against either of those, particularly Yota Tsuji. Right. I'm really interested. Is he just going to sleepwalk his way through that as well? If he does, then like there's no fucking use for this guy whatsoever. If he cannot deliver one good match in the G1 Climax, professional pride, man, like what are you even doing? Just go and do another job at this point. Right.
That's what I'm going to be looking for. That against Tsuji specifically. I don't even care so much with Oleg. I not that I don't care, but like I'm not going into that with a ton of expectations. You're in the ring with your world champion, your main eventer, a guy who can obviously fucking go. Yeah, just put in a fucking shift. That's all we're asking. And I have zero confidence. Zero. Well, let me take that back. 5%. 10% if you give me like 2 beers. Like, and if he can't do that there, when do you do it, Great-O-Khan? Like, when's the spot that you do it in? Again, Joe, I don't know if you know this, best G1 performer in the past 5 years. Just FYI. Just thought I'd bring that up.
It's like a dump truck. Yeah, and the fact that they've not given him, I don't think he's had any main events or semi-main events. Like there's just absolutely no belief from the company. Like there seems to be no expectation for him to do anything. So yeah, I'll just shrug my shoulders on. I'm not going to get that annoyed about it because we've got, I think, 19 other wrestlers. Yep. Even Shota Umino's outperformed him at this point.
Right, in one match. Yeah. He, you know what? He did. He absolutely did against Zach. Yeah, he did. Yep, he outperformed him.
All right, and then the 7th match was Ryohei Oiwa defeating Hirooki Goto in 8 minutes 51 seconds with a big lock.
Yeah.
The big lock. My favorite move is the big lock.
Me too.
So this is a really great win for Oiwa. Like, Goto has been built up this year as like the wall for Oiwa to overcome, having fallen short several times already this year. I don't like the match wasn't long enough to really get going, but I thought the headlock bits were great and the sustained commitment to the bit, and also like not only that, but the buy-in from the rest of the roster to make it work is fantastic. Like, you imagine like pitching that to Okada or someone saying, "Hey, this young guy's going to beat you with a headlock." You'd be like, "Get the fuck out of here! I'm not tapping out to no headlock."
Right.
And Goto is a movie star now. He's world champion last year, but him, having the buy-in to do this it's making a difference. And I continue to recognize and applaud just the lack of ego from that previous generation of champions. Guys like SANADA and Goto and Zack and Shingo in sticking around and helping get the new generation over, and not just like fucking off to another company. I don't know if there were offers on the table, whatever, but they're paying it forward and thinking, right, I've had my time. Now my job is to make these young guys look good. So, pro wrestling keeps on going. Burning Hammer says, is Oiwa's headlock even worse than the money clip? No, it's great. I love the big lock. The big lock is the best move in pro wrestling right now.
Agreed, 1,000%. Again, we're talking about a headlock. So we're talking about a guy who is just a brick shithouse, and he's going to squeeze your fucking head. And the fact that people are now conditioned to be like, okay, even in the beginning of a match, when, again, you would think, okay, this is just a, I hate using the term rest hold, but okay, it's a rest, it's a transition, it's whatever. No, it's now a finishing move. And the fact that fans are buying it hook, line, and sinker makes that element special throughout the entire match. Again, you could look at it and be like, okay, well, he's wearing them down. But yeah, he's really wearing them down with a headlock that he finishes people off with. I like Oiwa a lot. I like his look. I like his big bully attitude. I like his big, strong as an ox guy. And again, doesn't have to go out there and flippity do and it's a headlock, right? And you're right.
He's a grip. He grips. That's what he does. That's his whole character.
Yep. Which is smart on his part. Let's be frank. In the sense of there's not a lot of wear and tear on your body. And you're right. A special spotlight goes out to that previous generation, and Hirooki Goto specifically, who might be the most unselfish guy in all of pro wrestling. He's always there, always willing to do the right thing by business, and throughout his career, throughout his fucking career. How long did he take a backseat to so many guys? And he spent a vast majority of his career being, the guy who couldn't win the big match, or, you're not going to, you might give him the fucking IC title, but you would never even dream of the idea of him touching big boy belts. And yet, he stuck it out, stayed with it. He's a movie star, Joel. He's a movie star. And yet he's willing to sit there and say, okay, this is right. This will help get this guy over. Which and would anyone complain if it were found out that he was like, nah, dude, I'm not fucking doing that? Would anybody really complain? Like, I feel like he has the resume to be able to be in a position to be like, I don't think I'm doing that, dude. Like, he has that right to do. He's put in the time to do, and yet, right there, and to boot, I really love this match. I really thought it was fun.
Okay, so the status for these guys. So Goto is on 4 points. He's eliminated, which is that's a surprise. I thought they might be sort of going deeper in the tournament, given, again, that his status is fairly recent world champion.
Who does he got next? Or who does he have? What was his next two?
So he's got Boltin next, and then Yuto-Ice. So again, two really interesting matches.
Yeah.
Big platform there, even with him only on 4 points, just to make both guys look like stars. And I dare say will, like, win or loss. I'm very interested to see what those matches I like Oiwa is on 8 points. He's got Jake Lee and then Takeshita. Now, I think there's a very good chance of Oiwa making it out of this block. I would love to see him in the semi-finals at least, and I feel he's got the momentum and the narrative strength behind him. So that Takeshita match looks huge. Yeah. Like that surely has got to be the main event of that show with Takeshita against Oiwa, winner goes through. Like that could be the making of Oiwa right there.
We've been waiting for that too for a long time, and it always felt like he was the guy that's like, all right, they're doing it with Tsuji. Okay, they're doing it with Yuya. They're doing it with Shota. When are we gonna fucking help this dude out? Because he's losing in tag matches for crying out loud. This might be it. That would be a massive win for the guy. And again, they're doing a really good job of establishing him, getting wins over established guys. That's going to be a fucking... When is that? Is that Saturday or Sunday?
That is... Let's have a look. Let me get it up properly.
I hope it's Sunday. I'm going to review that one.
It's the next round of matches. Really? So that will be Wednesday in Shizuoka.
All right, I might do Wednesday then. I'm going to plant my flag for Wednesday.
Yeah, that's the final block night for A block, and as of yet, we don't have a card order for that. So we got Takeshita against Oiwa, Goto against Yuto-Ice, Oleg Boltin against Korakuen, Yota Tsuji versus Jake Lee, and Shingo versus SANADA. But that, like Takeshita Oiwa, that's got to be your main event. That's big flashing red lights on it to me.
Yep, that's going to be smoking. That's going to be really good. Yeah, you got it. That's got a main event. Got it.
Right, now the 8th match, we have Shingo Takagi defeating Konosuke Takeshita, 90 minutes 44 seconds via Last of the Dragon. It's a hard one for me to talk about, Damon, because it feels like I've been kind of building this idea, this trend that I've noticed that I've talked about in the last couple of shows, is the old New Japan style, that sort of like 2017, 18, 19 style, and the new Japan style. So this match, very much the former, what I would probably unkindly, perhaps unfairly describe as guys just taking turns to do big moves to each other. You do a big move, I do a big move. You do a big move, I do a big move. There's not that much narrative coherence to it. There's no sort of through line connecting one part of the match to the next. It's just sort of very perfunctory reversals, transitions to get from point A to point B, which is just big moves, kick-outs, that kind of stuff. And I'm not saying that's inherently bad. Like I get that there's a place for it, and I know a lot of people love it. But as I said on my Patreon audio, I've had a taste of what guys like Tsuji and Yuya and Yuto-Ice and Oiwa are doing. And I want more of that. This kind of style of wrestling, I'm not saying that there's no use to it. I think it's great to have lots of different styles. And I think there's there is a lot of kind of narrative weight to having these main eventers from yesteryear still being a proponent of that style of match. So I'm not saying get rid of it, or that it's bad, or that I hate it. But I do find it a bit formulaic and a bit one note.
Okay. I loved it. I think I loved it more because you didn't really get a ton of that this entire show. Like you had it for this one match. And it was two guys that obviously can go that route. And Shingo, obviously, it would be the leader of that, driving that bus of maybe a little, I don't want to call it nostalgic New Japan pro wrestling, but if anybody's going to drive that bus, you put them in there. I didn't get I didn't feel like it was a match that you were kind of eye rolling at. Oh, they're kicking out of what are they going to do? Fucking set off a nuclear bomb in the fucking ring and then kick out of 2.5. You know what I mean? Like I never got there on that. Like it wasn't like just spotty spot. Like I felt like it was two guys that were going to. I'm going to throw the kitchen sink at you, and you're going to do the same. Okay, great. Let's fucking empty the fucking gas tank, and give you everything we got. I love the match. I really did. I thought it was spectacular. And I think
I'm not saying I disliked it. I feel I don't have a huge amount to say about it.
Well, I mean, like we could sit here and go, okay, there was an exploder, and then there was, 117 thunderous headbutts, and then there were, the pumping bomber, and then there was,
Yeah, but then we'd be post wrestling,
right? And I think everybody watched that match, and could see that. That said, there is something that is magical about that style that when done well, and I think I would put this match in that folder of done well, there's really nothing like it. There's really that, at least for me, that just kind of wakes me up and just has me, it's like watching a fucking demolition derby. It's like watching, you know what I've been watching? Speaking of demolition derbies, dude, I'll send you the links. These fucking hillbillies in the middle of somewhere in the south of the United States. It's like a demolition derby, but it's like the track is a figure 8, right? And these beat up car, like like these crashes are unbelievable. I sit there and I watch them for 15 minutes, jumping out of my seat, looking like, oh my god, he's dead. He's got to be dead. These cars crashing, and that's what that. But there's something chemical in that. Like there's something. I don't know. Maybe it's people like to watch.
Lizard Brain. It's the same thing. Like that did that for me watching Gabe versus Henare.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like not everything needs to be sophisticated high art with a intricate narrative thread tying all the bits together. Like sometimes guys just go out there and do big moves and it's exciting and it's good and it's fun. Yep. So again, I'm not saying this was bad. It's just I find myself gravitating towards the higher levels of.
I hear you. All right, this might be Yankoid based, but yeah, I mean, I definitely loved it. And here's the thing too. Aside from the Okan Jake Lee match, and if we call it a match, great. I feel like this show specifically. What's that?
Incident.
The incident, match. Right? Yeah, the incident. What was that from the past? What, the Suzuki incident, was it?
The Suzuki incident.
Remember that? Remember that flashback? Remember that, people? Look it up. Go on X. Go on your Twitter and do a search for this.
I hear they're making a film about it. Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
The Suzuki incident.
Yeah. It's like, what's it? I can't pronounce it. The Saputa film or whatever. JFK. I'm an idiot.
Minoru Suzuki, played by Lupita Nyong'o.
And starring BTS as... I loved it. I loved the match. And again, this show had a little bit of everything. So, yeah, I think this was a nice. We talk about matches being a palate cleanser. This wasn't. This was the Big Mac and fries, and we're eating them at the same time with both hands, and I loved it. It's really
yes.
Yeah.
All right. Main event time. Oh wait, no points. So Shingo's got 8 points. Yep. He's got Yuto-Ice and SANADA next. Again, I'm looking at that Yuto-Ice match. I think that's the main event actually of the Sunday show.
Okay,
so nice. That's going to be a very interesting one. And then Takeshita's on 10 points. Has got SANADA and Oiwa. So we talked a bit about match. But I would definitely expect SANADA to be in the mix in the late stages of this block. And yeah, probably that's going to be a decider with him and Oiwa. So there we go.
Yep.
Main event time. Boltin Oleg. Or is it Oleg Boltin? Nobody really knows.
No one knows.
Mystery of the G1 Climax. Whatever his name is, he was the winner against Yota Tsuji, 24 minutes, 35 seconds via last kamikaze. So what order are we going to do this, Damon? Are we going to go through your weird critiques of Oleg Boltin or me wanking off Yota Tsuji for half an hour? Where do we want to start?
I'll get it out of the way. We'll end the show on a positive note. And trust me, these are, I feel, nitpicky things that just drive me a little bit nutty when it comes to good old Oleg Boltin Oleg. Okay,
we'll start off your big picture thoughts on Oleg and stuff that you like about him, what he's doing well, before we get onto
his offense. His offense is great. He is explosive offensively. He has grown in ring leaps and bounds to even where you could see it noticeably from the start of G1 to where we are now. And I think the company feels it for him in the sense of he's getting a pinfall win over the world champion, which you would assume would lead to a title defense later down the road. I like, again, his explosiveness on offense, I think is fun, legitimate, exciting. I'm down for it. And his improvement in ring, character-wise, comfortability, all of that has improved tenfold just in the time from Chicago to now. Now, can I nitpick? Just a smidge, if you don't mind. Indulge me. Go back and watch this match. The nitpicking is this. On Boleg, perfect example. Watch spots in which Tsuji will do something simple, like whip him into the turnbuckles, into the corner. And watch him, Oleg, take the turnbuckle, go into his feet are take 115 tiny steps to make it look like he's moving. He's moving incredibly slow. And he hits that turnbuckle like he has a carton of eggs in his back pocket. He has his mom's fine china in his trunks. He is just ginger as all get out. Hit the fucking turnbuckle, dude. Hit the fucking turnbuckle with some authority, with some gusto. When he's taking strikes, right? There's an exchange in this match, and he just, I don't know if he's overprotecting his opponent. I don't know if he's overprotecting himself, but there is a hesitation there, and a cautiousness that is there. It's visible. I can't not say it. And when he does it, it drives me nuts because the other side of the coin is him being explosive. And that maybe that's why it's so glaring to me that when he's taking others' offense and it's not even his selling. It's not his selling. This is not a selling critique. This is a caution. I don't understand it. The guy took a fucking Gene Blaster from the apron to the floor. Flat back bump to the floor. So he's not afraid of taking big bumps. He's not afraid to do spectacular things. It's these weird moments that he just feels timid. I don't know how else to describe it. And I defy you to go back and watch this match and just fucking wait till there's that spot and you'll notice it and you'll see it and you'll be like, well, what the fuck? What is he doing there? And he does it a lot. And it drives me batshit crazy because I can't understand it. things that seem relatively safe, even if you went full, you're going into a pad, dude. You know what I mean? This is a full pad. Go in there with some fucking gusto, will you please? I'm done nitpicking. Take it away.
Look, picking nits is fun. Have you ever actually picked nits?
I don't even know what a nit is. What's a nit?
It's the egg of a head louse.
Is it really? Is that where the term nitpicking comes from?
I think so, yeah.
Look at you big brain.
You can pop them on the back of your thumbnails and they go ding! They make like a really loud popping sound. Very, very satisfying. Oh. Disgusting, but very, very satisfying.
All right. You're sicko. All right.
Yeah, you're out to lunch, mate. You're mad. I'll give you that. I'll indulge you that. Right. I don't think you're wrong about the athleticism or lack thereof of Oleg. Okay, no, that's going to sound bad. He's not got the kind of smoothness, the fluidity in terms of his sort of athleticism and his bumping than other wrestlers do. I acknowledge that. He does sort of lumber around a bit like El Gigante from Resident Evil 4. I'll give you that. However, I don't notice that, and it doesn't bother me in matches as much as it does you. Right? We've all got our weird neuroses. Like, I couldn't enjoy any Nick Wayne during Best of the Super Juniors because he waves his hands around too much. Sometimes a guy does a thing, and we hyperfixate on that, and we can't look past that, and it annoys us. It's just what happens sometimes. No doubt. I don't think Oleg's lumbering oafishness is a problem. I think what his problem is lack of any kind of like personality or character to this point, right? But that's a worry for another day because I think he's been excellent in this G1, and I don't need every wrestler to be perfect. Perfect should not be the enemy of very good here. I think Oleg has been outstanding in this G1, and he's got quite a unique style as, again, like this big lumbering beast that everyone struggles to put down, like just a big bear. You're wrestling a bear in there, right. And I think having that as his unique style is good. I think it's good. Like I was discussing this on the Discord, and I think it was Violent Skipping brought up the quote from Minoru Suzuki. Let me try and find that. So there's an interview for Suzuki. He said, like, American wrestling seeks to churn out perfect wrestlers that are inherently uninteresting. I don't know if that's a direct quote, but yeah, I don't need all wrestlers to be flawless and perfect. I think Oleg, I don't see him as a future ace of the company or a tippy top guy, and that's fine. Like, he doesn't have to be. That's not necessarily the barometer of success for a professional wrestler in New Japan. I think he's a brilliant performer, and his matches are unique and exciting, and I've loved his output in this G1 Climax, and to me, he is filling that Ishii role where, you know, he's not got that much of a personality, but he's going to go out there and you're going to have like a ride or die, the hell of a match. He's going to give his all every single night. And I think that's great. Like, I celebrate that. I welcome that. I think that's really good. Whilst I also acknowledge that he's not as, you know, fluid and athletic as some of the other wrestlers. Both things can be true.
Yes. I'm with you. And again, I want to be very clear here. He has, once again, another guy that you could honestly put in the category of over-delivering. Like, things are coming together. And you're right. It might be just that one, you know, that one person who has the one fucking little tiny nose hair hanging out and you just can't fucking stop looking at, you know? It might be that. And again, I might be goofball Damon on an island here. And I probably am, but it's just that thing. I can't shake it. That said, he has been excellent. And here's the thing. The company obviously thinks the world of him. You know, you getting wins over world champions in this promotion, it, you know, doesn't fall from trees. They got to trust you, and obviously they do. Obviously they do, and rightfully so. Like, he's got it. He's got it. I just wish we could just hone out those little things. And sometimes I see them, sometimes I don't. I did see it here, and it drove me nuts. Sorry.
That's fair enough. I experienced it very differently. I didn't, even after you pointed out those things, when that was before I'd actually watched the match, and I thought, oh no, I'm going to hyperfixate on those when I watch the match, and it's going to ruin it for me. But I didn't, because this match was the Yota Tsuji show.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying this was like a carry job. Oleg absolutely played his part for sure. He was great. But this match encapsulates everything that is great about Yota Tsuji and how much he's grown into this role of company ace. Because there are a lot of doubters, a lot of people saying he's not got it, he's not a great worker, he's not well-rounded enough, he's not got the aura, blah, blah, blah. Just bullshit. Bullshit. Because the man is a bona fide ring general now.
Yeah.
And what I love about his work this year is he isn't just doing the copy-paste New Japan main event style of my turn, your turn, just doing big moves to each other. He is approaching each individual match with a strategy as if it was a real prize fight where he's analysed his opponent's weaknesses. He's coming with the folder. He's got his analytics. He's come up with a game plan. Every opponent, that's different, and it makes his matches feel dynamic and varied and can change drastically depending on the opponent. Like here, he's tried to soften up Oleg's midsection to set up the Gene Blast. And it's the little touches of him struggling with things, like struggling to land the curb stomp because Oleg is so powerful. And it shows he's not only considering his opponent's weaknesses as like a kayfabe wrestler, but he's also really thinking about his opponent's strengths as a performer and lifting them up and trying to make them look good rather than just getting his shit in. Yeah. To the extent to which his matches are now, like, in a lot of ways, starting to feel like a showcase for his opponent as much as a chance for him to make himself look good, right? In this match, Tsuji looked like every one of his regular moves was a struggle. Like him trying to land the silver lining and then realizing that he can't do it. So instead he goes for Uranage backbreaker.
Well,
does that instead.
That's because he's got Boltin sandbagging him.
He's sandbagging him so hard. He's just looking absolutely winded afterwards. Like his face is like, fuck me, this guy is not cooperating with me at all.
Will you jump a little bit, fucking Simon Diamond? Jesus Christ.
He's going to drop him on his head like Bob Holly. But yeah, that kind of struggle makes, to me, every part of the match interesting. Like he's working out the game plan on the fly, but it's also he's plagued by doubt and indecision when things don't go right. Sometimes, he might find himself sifting through the wreckage of his game plan and desperately trying to make anything work. And you see that range of emotions when things aren't going right for him. Sometimes he gets frustrated. Sometimes he loses his cool. There was a bit in this match, he was going for the Boston Crab and Oleg's just powering out, kicking out with his big, strong legs. Like, if you have ever tried to change a nappy of a baby when they're just kicking you with their big, strong baby legs, you're like, fuck off. And Tsuji just gets angry and kicks Boltin in the head. There are so many of these like little living, breathing moments that make him so fascinating to watch. Or, like he's got to dig into his bag of tricks to find something new, or maybe like something old, like he did the giant swing in this match. So, like, my point being, he's not just effortlessly just cycling through all his signature moves. He's having a hard time here to land anything because Oleg Boltin is a beast. And not only that, but he's feeling the wear and tear 12 nights deep into a grueling G1 Climax.
Main eventing. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. The minutes that he's had to put in fighting all these monsters. And I just really feel Yota Tsuji's not getting the praise he deserves for the thought and care and attention to detail that he puts into his matches and the creativity. So many great improvisations. Like he turned a kamikaze attempt into a mid-air reverse triangle. Like, who even thinks of that? Like, the man's an absolute sicko. And his matches are punctuated with these little sparks where he sees an opportunity to go for something unique and dangerous, and you won't see it again. He's not going to copy it in his next match. He's not going to do a Gene Blaster off the apron in every main event. He did it here because it fit the story of the match, but he's got the creativity, the consistency to be able to come up with gems like that every single time. I think his sense of pacing is fantastic as well. Like, there was a moment where after that spot, there was a count-out tease and Oleg's struggling to get in the ring. He's even struggling to get to his feet and is leaning on red shoes, and the crowd is really getting on. Like, the dramatic climax of that is, can this guy get to his feet? The crowd are behind him. Then the audience, just about to reach the dramatic peak of that moment of struggle for Oleg Boltin. And then Tsuji just blows it up, flying knee, out of shot of camera, just bang, right in the chin, which just escalates the drama and the action, just layers it upon itself. And then that's the point where he's finally able to hit the silver lining. And he's not hitting the silver lining because that's the time in the match to hit the silver lining. It's because he's worked up to it. He tried it earlier in the match, didn't work, but now he's worked up to it and he's earned it because he's softened up Oleg Boltin, or him finally getting to hit the curb stomp on the third attempt because, again, he's worn down his opponent. It's like every big move, every big moment is earned with Yota Tsuji. He puts in the groundwork. And not only that, but he makes his opponent's big moments pop as well. Like there was a bit later on in this match where Oleg picked him off the mat for the verdict, and he just like flew off of the ground just to make Oleg look like this monstrous strength for his, and he makes his opponents look dangerous. That great moment where he goes for the Gene Blaster, and then Oleg just roars at him, and he stops dead in his tracks, and you can see just the absolute terror and doubt on his face. He's like, "Fuck, I'm scared. I don't know what to do." Like he's not Superman. He's not John Cena. He's not like effortlessly beating guys up. They're adjusting off flaws to make him, again, just really compelling to watch. And yeah, his shit goes wrong sometimes. Like, he spiked himself.
Lost. Yeah.
For his own kamikaze. It was just the perfect performance from Tsuji. He led the match. He took 80% of the offense, but in a way where every move looked like a struggle. Yeah. He helped to hide all of Oleg's weaknesses and just ultimately made him look like fucking King Kong. And I'm aware I've turned this podcast into a Yota Tsuji hagiography, but I have to do it because nobody else will, Damon. Everyone else is just consuming pro wrestling by fucking around, scrolling on their phones and just looking up whenever Excalibur starts shouting so they can see the next big move. Nobody else is paying the same absolutely necessary level of attention to what is actually happening in the ring, which is Yota Tsuji becoming the complete wrestler before our very eyes and putting together a run that is absolutely without rival in 2026. There's nobody on the planet in any other promotion coming close to this. Yeah. And he won't get that recognition by the intellectually lobotomized masses because their attention spans are too fucked by modern technology and social media to acknowledge anything that's beyond the scope of wrestling for the TikTok generation. You know, if it's a wrestling match that doesn't have flips or weapons or blood or mid-match promos or super
hands
costumes, yeah, Damon, I will not accept that on the Super J-Cast. This is my struggle. I'm a fully committed Tsuji hadist. It is a militant, violent, fundamentalist movement, but it is a holy war. We have God on our sides, and in this house, we will put some fucking respect on the name of Yota Tsuji. He is a man without equal.
Let's go. Two things that I want to hammer home that you said. One, great pro wrestlers make their opponents look better. Great pro wrestlers, it's not about going out there and, I'm on the edge of my chair with your moves. It's making your opponent look, and even if they have no right to be, look to be a contemporary and an equal, and if not, in certain moments, a superior. That's a great pro wrestler. And at the same time, you still looking pretty darn good yourself. Two, it feels so good to know that, and we've been waiting for this for a long time, but how good does it feel knowing that you have a guy that you completely and 100% trust in a big spot? Like, you know, main event time, fuck, it's going down. You know what I mean? Like, you know that you're going to get 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it is, of not even the same cookie cutter, hit my move, you kick out, I stare at the camera and complete disbelief. You know what I mean? Like we've seen it 1,000 times, and there's a absolute like endpoint and a breaking point to where none of that means anything. And the subtlety is back. And the idea that things are a struggle and things aren't this Avengers movie pro wrestling. Like, we're actually back. You know what I mean? Like, let me be clear. We're back in the sense of our main events are back. And our main events are back not because we're doing a tribute act to 2018, but because we have a great pro wrestler who is your world champion in main events, constructing matches that just make pro wrestling enjoyable. Not Avengers movie pro wrestling. Pro wrestling. It's back. It's back. And we have a guy that we trust that can do it. That feels good.
So Yota Tsuji is on 8 points now. He's got Great Khan and Jake Lee next. So again, I've got my the tracking that I've been doing of star ratings on G1 Climax 36.versel.app. In terms of my top rated wrestler, it is Yota Tsuji by a country mile. Yeah. I've got him on an average of 4.43 stars. But no, he's got to wrestle the two shitters. So let's see how that holds up afterwards. But again, I was just curious to see if guys like Great Khan and Jake Lee can read the room and think, fuck, this is our general now. This is our top guy. If I go out there and shit the bed, then that's going to reflect badly on me, not him. So, I'll wait and see what those matches.
Do you think either of those main event? I don't think
they do. The Great Khan match is third from the top, and the Jake Lee match, obviously, we don't have a card order for that yet, but I do expect Oiwa Takeshita to be in the main event now.
Okay. So can we safely assume that and again, I use this term very liberally, off nights?
I don't know. Like, I think the fact that he's got the two United Empire guys left, there might be some significance in that. Like, maybe they do some kind of angle in the Great Khan match where, like, he beats Great Khan, but Great Khan injures him somehow with a chair or whatever, and then Jake Lee in the following match is like working over that injury. I'm not sure. Again, I think there might be some significance to having two great United Empire guys back to back.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that maybe he's in the mix toward the end, and we need to kind of conserve his energy. So, again, we're going to give him.
He should win it.
Yeah. I mean, why not at this point, right? Why not?
If there was ever a time and a guy to be, you know what, let's have the fucking champion win the G1. This is it.
Yeah. I'm with you. I mean, but here's the thing too. They're making new stars as we sit here. I mean, again, Boltin getting no big win. Yuya having, strong output, and you could see how they're positioning him to be front and center with this fucking promotion. And even guy, you can go through we did it, Drilla Maloney. Yeah, and even like guys like Gabe Kidd that, he's putting in the fucking effort. I can't tell you. I texted you this. I look forward to two nights, and the nights where they go on little extended breaks. I fucking hate it. I really do. Yes. I really do.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with myself this week without any G1 to watch.
And truthfully, can you say that in the past 3 years?
Absolutely not.
No.
It's often an absolute slog, and I get worried because I don't know if I'm going to have enough interesting things to say to justify doing audio about it. But not this year. It's been easy.
Yeah. Joel, this is night 12 we're talking about. Usually by night 6 or 7.
This is supposed to be the dog days.
Right. These are supposed to be the dog days. The fucking, when we talk about the meat grinder that is G1. Well, guess what? It's a meat grinder for people watching it sometimes. It's just like, ooh, you're just wanting it to end. You want to get to the fucking meaty parts. Not this year. Every show, I'm like, okay, let's get some fucking G1 going. And then on the nights where there isn't anything, I'm sitting here with my thumb in my ass, wishing that I had a little G1 action. This has been good. This has been very good. Gotta fucking hand it to New Japan this year. Gotta do it because they're clicking with this G1.
Interestingly, so night 13, which is taking place. Hold on, let's get this schedule up. So Saturday in Yokohama Budokan. Now, famously, you will know this, Damon, August the 8th, 1988.
Yeah.
The Super Monday night in Yokohama at the different venue, Yokohama Bunker Gymnasium. Very famous main event there with Tatsumi Fujinami against Antonio Inoki, and they wrestled each other to a famous time limit draw. So that's something that New Japan pay tribute to from time to time. So yet again, we have our Yokohama G1 show on August the 8th.
Mm.
So in terms of the G1 matches, we've got Driller versus Zack, Yuya versus Henare, Aaron Wolf versus Ren, Oscar versus Callum. Any in there that you think they're going to go for a cheeky little 30-minute tribute draw there?
Let's go. Student versus teacher. I'm trying to think of like who would be the student versus the teacher.
Now, this would have been Shota versus Gabe Kidd on this show, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe that would have been the main event, and they could have done the draw there. I don't know, but someone's going to throw in a Manji Gatame, aren't they?
I would think so, right? Just the old trivia. I mean, at least we don't have anybody sliding in our DMs at this point. Right? we'll be safe. We're good. Yeah, I did not realize the significance of that date and the venue, and all of that was right there. So yeah, maybe they'll lean into that a little bit. I don't know how, but that seems like a good show. What's Sunday? I'm excited for Sunday because I got to do the audio on that one. What's Sunday looking like?
Right, so Sunday in Gunma, we have Oiwa versus Jake Lee, Takeshita versus Sanada, Tsuji versus Great Khan, Goto versus Boltin, and then Shingo versus Yuto-Ice in the main event.
Okay. 2 matches in there sound pretty tasty. I'm watching Great Khan, and this is it. This is it. Like, dude, like, honestly, if you can't do it here, just fucking turn in your boots. Do us all a favor and turn in your fucking boots, because enough is enough. You got to be able to perform here, and if you can, then fucking hit the road, hit the bricks. There's plenty of people waiting to take your spot.
I was just going to quickly take a look at the A block standings now. So I think this is the part of the tour where it is worth paying attention to. Mm-hmm. So if this is up to date, which I believe it is, we've got Takeshita and Boltin at the top with 10 points. Then we've got Yota Tsuji, Shingo, and Oiwa on 8 points. Sanada, Jake Lee, Yuto-Ice on 6 points. Goto, Great Khan on 4 points. So gun to your head, Damon. Give me which 2 wrestlers are going through in the A block?
Oiwa. You would think. I don't think it's a guarantee that it's Tsuji. Do you? Well, the 2 guys.
No, nothing is guaranteed. That's the interesting thing here.
You would think on paper he would be, though. I'll go Tsuji. I'll go safe Tsuji and Oiwa.
Yes, I think I agree with you. I think Oiwa Takeshita is set up really nicely, and that should be. I mean, Oiwa sort of come with a heartbreaking, narrow competitive defeat to Takeshita. I could see value in that, but I think let's just push the boat out. Let's
have fun.
Be ambitious. Let's be bold with these guys. So yeah, Oiwa and I think Tsuji, just by the fact that he's already had quite a few defeats,
right?
And Great Khan and Jake Lee back to back, I think it'll be very unsatisfying for him to come a cropper there. That feels like it's set up to be like a little narrative hurdle for him to get over.
I'm with you. So correct me if I'm wrong. Boltin, he lost to. Who else did he lose to again?
He lost to Sanada, and I think he lost to Shingo, didn't he? Let me double check that. Yeah. I mean, night 1.
I don't think Sanada's getting a title match. Do you?
He might. I mean, who knows? If there's destruction in Bipu, that could be, as Anza likes to say. So, fuck.
I'm sorry. I mean to put you on the spot there.
No, I want to see. So, Goto defeated Tsuji, didn't you?
That's right. I mean, that's a safe title defense, right? I mean, you know it's going to be good. there's some legitimacy there. You know what I mean? Like that could be interesting. I don't know how far I would go with SANADA, but again, I counted them out before this tournament, so I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. And I think Boltin would be fun too. That's a nice. I mean, but that you would think that would be a win, for Tsuji, a good title defense leading up to Wrestle Kingdom. So we'll see. We'll see. Absolutely. What do we got in B? What's B looking like?
I got Gabe Kids top of the block on 10 points. Then Callum Newman, Henare, Red Narita, Oscar, and Driller all on 8. Yuya and Wolf on 6. Zack Sabre Jr. on 4, and Shota Umino on 0-9. Obviously, the weirdness here is that some wrestlers have 3 matches left, and some only have 2 matches left. So that one, it's a bit muddy.
You think Yuya out of this block out of B? Yuya and Callum?
Yuya, yes. Yuya and Callum. So then we could do Yuya against Oiwa in one of the semi-finals. That would be fun, wouldn't it?
Sure would.
After their great G1 match they had last year. And then Callum versus Tsuji again. Yeah. I like the fact that it's unpredictable.
Yeah.
That's a good for me.
For all our bitching and moaning about people being piled up at 8 points and 4, that big roadblock, that does make it interesting. Can't lie. It does make it interesting.
Just like this podcast was. I hope everyone enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.
Hi, I'm Andrew Rich, and if you're like me, you look at the state of modern wrestling discourse and think, wow, what a cesspool. That's why I'm here to tell you about Music of the Mat Remix. That's right, your favorite wrestling music podcast is back with a new format, where I bring on a guest and we play songs related to wrestling-themed topics. It could be a wrestling reference, a wrestling concept, a wrestling pun, things of that nature. Now you might be saying, Andrew, that is a very, very tenuous connection to pro wrestling on a wrestling podcast network. Is this just an excuse to hang out with your friends and talk about music and ignore the rest of the wrestling landscape? Yes. Yes, it is. So listen to Music of the Mat Remix on the Voices of Wrestling Podcast Network, available on Apple, Spotify, or your podcast player of choice.
Most people don't realize how much their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making billions, pulling details about you from public records and the internet, and then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance, all backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might sell just credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it, together, at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/remove. Protect yourself now at aura.com/remove.